You guys hear this? Oh,
I can hear you.
there we go. Now I have audio.
All right, I got you.
Thanks.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Oh, good. I think says 6.
It says 6.
Mhm.
Okay, I would like to call this meeting of the Mid-Vale Planning and Zoning Commission to order. We start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
All 6.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we please get a roll call?
Yes. Chair Tippett,
Here.
Vice Chair Anderson,
Here.
Commissioner Costello,
Here.
Commissioner Smallwood,
Here.
Commissioner Snow,
Here.
Commissioner Erickson. Oh, I don't know that she's online with us. And then Commissioner Benson.
Here.
Thank you. The first item on our agenda is an election of chair and vice chair for this year. I will open the floor for nominations.
I'm going to nominate Dustin to be the chair for 2022.
Gosh, I'm going to second that.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Are there any other nominations? Okay, with that, Kate, can we go ahead and get a vote, please?
Yes. Hey, Chair Tippett,
Yes.
Vice Chair Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Costello,
Yes.
Commissioner Smallwood,
Yes.
Commissioner Benson,
Yes.
and then Commissioner Snow.
He's shaking his head.
Yes, I guess. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so I can turn this over to you, Dustin, and have you run the rest of the meeting if you would like to do that. Do you want me to do tonight's and then?
Yeah, you can
start?
finish up tonight.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, then we'll go ahead and take nominations for vice chair, please. Opening up the floor for that.
Robin. Dustin nominates Robin.
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Erickson. I
Can,
second that.
well,
Can I do it?
can she do it yet? Because right now she's just,
Oh, yeah.
She
Well,
can.
She can't, not until the end of the month. Okay, so that means we will, that first.
Will we do it
nomination-
again then? Can we do another vote at the end of the month?
No, we have to do it now. Sorry.
Okay.
It's in our bylaws that we need to do the election this meeting.
Okay.
So are there any other nominations? Robin has been nominated.
I'll second Robin.
Okay, she's been nominated and it's been seconded. Can we please get a vote, Kate?
Yes. Okay, I guess I'll just go with Commissioner for everyone right now. Commissioner Tippett,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Costello,
Yes.
Commissioner Smallwood,
Yes.
Commissioner Snow,
Yes.
Commissioner Benson.
Yes.
Okay, I'm happy to announce that we have a new chair and vice chair. You guys will be in charge next meeting.
Okay.
Okay, so the next item on our agenda is the review and approval of minutes from December 8th. Did everyone get a chance to review those minutes?
Yeah.
I did. Any corrections or additions? I didn't find any.
Yeah, I don't have anything either.
Okay, with no corrections or additions being noted,
Can we get a roll call on approving those minutes since we're virtual?
Or do we need the motion?
On the minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Can I
make
have
a motion
Okay,
that we pass the minutes of December the 8th.
And I'll second.
do you want to just do an all in favor, Kate, or do you want to do a roll call?
We should probably do a roll call since
Okay.
we're virtual. Okay. So, well, Commissioner Tippett,
Approve, yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Costello,
Yes.
Commissioner Snow,
Yes.
Commissioner Smallwood.
Yes.
Okay, those minutes are approved. The next item is our planning commission meeting dates. I know we were amending those. Have those been amended to get rid of the second meeting in November and the second meeting in December?
Yes,
Okay,
Commissioner
so,
Tippett, they have been. If you look in the packet,
yeah,
the second meeting in November has been taken off, and also the second meeting in
Okay, great.
December.
Perfect.
okay. We just need a motion to enact those dates.
I'll make the motion to adopt the planning commission meeting dates for 2022.
Dustin, second them.
Okay, there's motioned and seconded. Kate,
Yes, Vice Chair Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Costello,
Yes.
Commissioner Snow,
Yes.
and Commissioner Smallwood.
Yes.
okay, those have been accepted and we'll move forward with that schedule. We'll now get to our public hearing portion of the meeting. We are virtual, so it will operate as this. We will have a presentation by staff. We will then hear from the applicant, and we will also hear from our attorney. We will then open the matter up for public hearing. We will close the public hearing and discuss as a commission and then take a vote on that public hearing item. So our first public hearing item is Aaron Trejo representing Pure Auto Sales and Finance. He's requesting a conditional use permit approval for auto sales located at 7554 South State in the State Street Commercial Zone. Adam is.
Yes, thank you.
Present.
I will go ahead and see if I can get this, the slideshow to work for you. So as stated, this is an application for a conditional use permit for auto sales at 7554 South State. It's a smaller auto sales facility. It was right on the cusp of not even requiring a conditional use permit before the Planning Commission. Rather, it was almost at the threshold of just being at the staff level, but because of the a number of autos they wanted to sell, it did put it in the conditional use category to go to the Planning Commission. The site, as stated, is at 7554 South State. It's actually two parcels. There's one that's highlighted here, and it's also directly, the parcel directly to the south is also included in the proposal. The site has been used for this similar type of use in the past, and what they would like to do is clean it up and have auto sales on the location. There are two site plans in your submittal materials that show kind of how they're going to utilize the building and the parking and the expansion thereof. Also the existing landscaping on site and how they propose to clean that up and make it a little more attractive. The only condition approval that we are proposing is that the applicant obtain a business license. And the recommended motion is before you. There are a number of items that a conditional use permit must adhere to that are outlined in the code and in the staff report. Those are each addressed and how those have been addressed and considered and taken care of. So with that, staff would recommend approval of the conditional use permit.
Is the applicant present? Not seeing that the applicant is present. Commissioners? We'll
They
go ahead.
were sent an invite. I spoke with them earlier today. They weren't sure if they were going to be able to make it if something had come up. But I let them know that regardless, I would still present and give the staff recommendation.
Okay, thank you. We can go ahead and open this for public hearing.
Kate or Adam, have we received any public comment on this?
No.
via email or anything?
No, not. We did send out notice nearly 2 weeks ago and have not received any comment either for or against.
There was one thing that I wanted to ask. Can I do that now or shall
Yes.
I wait till after?
Let's go ahead and close the public hearing
Okay,
first and
okay.
then have our discussion.
I motion
So-
that we close the public hearing.
5 second.
Been motioned and seconded. Kate?
Yes.
Do we have to
Vice
do a
Chair-
roll call for
Actually, I
that?
don't think we roll anymore.
No, I
I
don't
don't-
think you
I
do
thought
on
we
it.
did, yeah, I thought we had to if it was virtual. No, we don't have to.
Not for that.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't think for that.
okay. So public hearing is closed. So go ahead, Colleen.
Okay, it said vehicle sales and service. Now by service, does this mean like oil changes or any kind of chemicals or things of that nature?
I read it
Really-
as pure auto sales and finance, not service. Is it?
Yes,
I know, but it
If-
says in the background here, the applicant requests conditional use permit approval for a vehicle sales business located and gives the address, State Street, in SSC zone. And then it says per table, gives the 1777-2, vehicle sales and service is an allowed use.
I can clarify that, Commissioner. Really what that was, I was just citing the section of the table that required it to have a conditional use permit. So the site as proposed is strictly auto sales.
Oh, okay.
I could have clarified that, but I was just taking the words verbatim from the table that again specified that it needed a conditional use permit before the planning
I just
commission.
wanted to make sure because with service, I didn't know if it was going to be like oil changes and things of that type, because that kind of throws a
For
different
sure.
light on.
Yeah, I completely understand again, and it is just auto sales at this
Okay.
location.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Any other comments from?
I think
commissioners?
I think the only other service they do is probably clean up the vehicle to make sure it was sellable, kind of like detail work, but that'd be about it. I would,
That's a whole different thing.
yeah, that's what I would bet.
Okay. I don't really have any issues with them not being here today. They'd still be subject to the conditional use, and we haven't had any public comment on it to be recognized by them. So if the commission is okay with it, I will go ahead and move that we approve the conditional use permit for a vehicle sales business located at 7554 South State Street with the findings and condition noted in the staff report.
I second it.
That's been moved and seconded. Kate, can we please get a roll call vote?
Yes. Commissioner Snow,
Yes.
Commissioner Smallwood,
Yes.
Commissioner Costello,
Yes,
and Vice Chair Anderson.
Yes.
Okay, that conditional use permit is approved. Thank you. Our next public hearing item is from Mr. Langford, representing Wasatch Residential Group. He's requesting a large-scale master plan approval for a property located at 8090 South Sagini Drive in the Jordan Bluff Zone, sub-area 4 zone. Elizabeth Arnold is presenting.
Yes. Okay. So this is, like you said, for a large scale master plan for the Jordan Bluffs. So you have seen this for other phases. This is for their phase 3. Let's see if that moves. Okay, so located just off Bingham Junction and Ivy there in that little triangle portion of the, I think it's sub area 4. So phase 1 you'll see is kind of on this left-hand portion of the screen, and phase 2 was up here on top. So this phase 3 again is that triangle portion here. This is just a close-up of that site plan that they are proposing. The code dictates that they have to meet 8 criteria that range from environmental constraints to residential density limits, recreational amenities, things like this. That was all outlined in this staff report. Staff has found that they do meet all those requirements. So we are recommending approval, and the recommended motion that you see on the screen is the same as was included in your staff report, and that hasn't changed.
Mr. Langford, would you like to speak to the commission?
Sure.
And as usual, please state your name.
Yes. I'm trying to get used to glasses and mask
it's
again.
hard.
It's I took my glasses off. That's easier, even though I can't see very well. Adam Langford, Wasatch Residential Group, 620 South State Street in Salt Lake City. I don't really have anything to add. Like Elizabeth said, there's the 8 criteria in the zone. We meet or exceed those standards. This is the last phase. You know, we've been building this over several years, so the city's been a great partner. We're excited for this last phase. I'm just really here to answer any questions.
Commissioners, do you have any questions at this time?
No, I don't have anything right now.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Garrett, do you need to talk to us about this? Where is Garrett?
I'd be happy to if you'd like me to share.
Please, thank you.
This is a administrative decision, and so if the requirements are met by the applicant, the planning commission must approve.
All right, thank you. Let's go ahead and open it up for public hearing. Have we received any public comment to date? Kate, do you know if we've received any public?
I have
comment?
not. I have
Okay.
not. Elizabeth?
No, sorry, finding my mute button.
Okay.
No, we haven't received any public comment.
Okay.
Well, that's rare. Do we want to keep it open for? I guess it probably wasn't noticed. Okay, it's fine. I'm just going to move that we close the public hearing.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. The public hearing is now closed. Commissioners, do you have anything you'd like to discuss pertaining to this?
No, it's pretty straightforward, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty okay with it too.
Well, seeing no comments from the commission, I'll open this for a motion.
Okay, I make a motion. I move that we recommend approval of the large-scale master plan for Jordan Bluffs Phase 3, located at 8090 South Zagini Drive, with the findings noted in the staff report.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Kate, can we please get a roll call vote?
Yes. Commissioner Smallwood,
Yes.
Commissioner Costello,
Yes.
Vice Chair Anderson,
Yes.
and Commissioner Snow.
Yes.
That has been moved and seconded. We'll go ahead and make that recommendation to the city council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our third item is a zoning ordinance text amendment to amend text in chapter 17-2, 17-7-1, 17-7-2, 17-7-3, 17-7-4, 17-7-5, 17-7-7, 17-7-8, and 17-7-15 of the Midvale City Municipal Code.
Thank you.
Who's presenting? I'm not sure who's presenting. It's not on my list.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
I'm Hannah Tyler here. I'll take a second to introduce myself. I am a contract land use planner for the planning department. And so you guys will see me in the future throughout probably the spring, because I'm going to be helping update the land use code. And that's for outstanding amendments that either staff or council members had requested to be done, or other amendments that address LUDMA updates at the state level. And so, again, I'll just be here presenting to you guys and bringing these across your plate as we get finished with them on the staff side. So with that, I'll go back to presenting. Let's see. So the land use code amendment in front of you guys tonight is a text amendment that intends to address required updates to Title 17. And that's based on amendments to the LUDMA that were established by HB 1003, and that was during the 2021 legislative session. And this bill was intended to address municipalities' ability to implement design review regulations for single-family dwellings and duplex dwellings. And they built in some exceptions to that as well. So just to catch you up, Midvale's current code allows you to regulate single family and duplex dwellings. And so what we have to do is create the prohibition of that with those exceptions being applied. And so the state code does define what design review is. And here's the list of the things that they say would count as design review. And so what you are allowed to do is you can regulate this for multi-unit dwellings that are triplex or greater, as well as commercial buildings. And so that will still stay in the code. And so what we're doing here is to add that prohibition for the design review for those single family and duplexes. And then what we did was we built in those exceptions for the instances where you are allowed to regulate it. And so this would pretty much all be at staff level. And so basically where you're allowed to regulate it is historic sites, health, life, and safety issues, things like development agreements where design standards were already built in, that will stay in the code. And then water efficient landscape requirements. And then any development that's asking for an exception to the code, design review can be implemented at that point. And so really what it does is just bring the code up to compliance with the state code. Again, it doesn't take away your ability to regulate commercial or triplex or greater. And so this is the staff recommendation. We are recommending a positive recommendation of council. And again, this is bringing the code into compliance with the state requirements. So I'm happy to answer any questions on this.
Any questions yet from commission?
Is this-
Garrett?
Sorry, is this for all of it right now? Are we addressing all of it?
Yes, and I guess when you say all of it, are you talking about the entire ordinance?
Correct.
Yes.
So I had a couple questions.
Okay.
Accessory dwellings. It says 13% of lot size.
Sorry, what was the question? I broke up a little bit.
On accessory dwellings.
What's in what about accessory dwelling? Sorry.
We moved it to 13%. What did it used to be?
Do you have the page number on that?
I'm trying to find it right now.
What I can do is I can share that and we can all be looking at it together.
Let's see. It's, right around 26. I should have wrote page numbers. I'm sorry. Page 26.
And what on this page is your question? Am I at the correct page?
Yes. Now, let me see what number it was. I read this last night. It just stated that we were going to 13% of the accessory dwelling or unoccupied accessory dwelling to 13% of the lot size.
I don't think that's not new language. It just changed numbers. But the
What?
text itself is not new.
Do we know what we used to be?
I'd have to probably defer that to Adam or Nate.
Sorry,
If
I meant
that
to-
changed, or Garrett.
And I can
This is
step
item-
in.
This is item number F, by the way.
So the accessory structures were not changed by this. So the 13% or 900 square feet was the existing condition with the ordinance before Hannah started making the changes to update it to bring in the other design elements. So that's if you were to get into our code right now, ignoring all the design things that Hannah has just spoken about, that's exactly what you would find right now for the requirements for accessory structures.
Okay. All right. Second one, I believe it was on the State Street zoning with regards to roof types. It said to be similar or had to be the same materials. I
Do you have a
definitely should
page
have wrote
number?
down
Do you have a page number?
numbers.
What page was that on?
Sorry, I didn't write down page numbers.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, if you don't mind me scrolling, I think it's just a lot easier if we're all looking at the text.
Yeah, so while we're scrolling, I'm just wondering if you had an architect that had a really cool roof line, but was gonna mix two different roof types. Does this hinder that?
Is it on the residential roof form?
It was on, I know it was on the State Street one.
Okay, and I'm in that. Let's see.
This was so fun to read. I had to.
I love it. Attention to detail is super important. So here's some language on roof forms, which again, it didn't necessarily change. It's just because we deleted a section in some of these, the numbering changed.
Okay.
New
So is
text.
this something that we should address though? I mean,
It's absolutely, I think if it's something that you guys would like to explore, it definitely is something that we could come back with probably.
okay. I think where they're mixing metal roofs with shingled roofs or,
I think I kind of get what Dustin's saying is that the characteristics of the housing product under 2, like, I think the state code would require that we're not allowed to have a minimum model characteristics for single family detached. Isn't that correct?
That is
yeah,
correct.
but
So I
believe
mean,
this one was
this
under
whole,
the,
so like this whole
state.
section should probably be scratched out, right?
So this section is applicable to multi-unit dwellings or commercial buildings. So what we did was we eliminated this requirement for single family and duplex, but this stayed in the code for those other remaining uses and types of buildings. But it's definitely something that if you guys want us to look at roof forms and things like that, that's absolutely something that we could eliminate, change, things like that.
I think where we're going for, like, say for instance, if you're building a 4 to 6-plex, I myself would want to see the roof broken up into different styles and material. That's my opinion.
Would this hinder that then?
In the wording, it makes it sound like it would.
Okay. Because you ought to be able to have freedom, your designer and architect should be able to have that without there really being a penalty for, say, you know, like you were saying, so if we did the gable on the house, let's say was a metal roof and the rest was shingled, does this stop that? Right?
Correct.
Garrett, does it stop that? Do we have to address that?
I would need to look at this a little bit more, since this was just simply renumbered and this wasn't part of the changes that Hannah was making and that were reviewed by staff. I can't speak to that. My guess would be, so the only thing that the changes that have been proposed do is remove any of the architectural requirements for single family homes or duplexes, because we can't have those requirements in place anymore, except under certain conditions that are laid out by state law.
So it really wouldn't have anything to do with this, what you're saying.
Pretty much. So yeah, any
Okay.
multifamily things, it's all the exact same standards. They've just been renumbered.
Okay.
And I can work with Adam to sort of potentially come back with maybe a work session looking at roof forms and how, kind of to your point, how we can make sure that it's usable for designers to get the best design and not necessarily confine them to code that maybe isn't going to produce the best design. I think we can come back with something on that.
Okay. I just had two more questions on the, I believe it was under TOD. We list out a number of the size of front porch, the width, and I'm wondering if we should change that to a percentage of the frontage of the lot, where we're now allowing, say, 3,000 square foot lots. That doesn't leave much room for a garage, and was it 35 feet? Maybe it was 25 feet. I was just wondering if we should change that to a percentage.
Do you know where it was? It's probably the same thing as the roofs where it's existing language, but
Yeah.
The USD, I'm just looking at it right now. It's. Is it on that first page, on page, let's see what page this is, 23? You've got lot width, lot frontage, lot depth, and then setbacks right after that. The front porch is in the setbacks in number 2.
got it right here.
Yeah, 25 feet. So if you only had a 45 foot wide lot and you had a 20-foot garage, and we're requiring a 25-foot front porch, I don't know. I would just think that a percentage would.
I don't.
But
Is
that's
your
completely up to
concern,
the professionals.
is your concern that we're requiring a front porch? And
No,
I
I like the front porch. I'm just, if we get, well, our minimum used to be what, 65 feet wide, and now we're down to 45 feet wide. So we need to adjust the size of front porch according to the narrower lots. So say like 20% of the lot frontage needs to be porch, or however that pencils out.
If I can just jump in, this is Adam. I think what this is, again, this is just a renumbered section, but what this allows, the section that you're referencing, it allows an encroachment into the front yard setback. And so that's really what it's saying, is you can have a front porch that encroaches into that front yard setback. I think that's where this is at.
Okay. And then my last thing was, I like the landscape, given the developer 6 months rather than bonding right off the bat. That's all.
Commissioners, do you have any other comments before we open this up for public hearing? No, I don't.
Nope.
Let's go ahead and open this up then for a public hearing. Have we received any comments?
not that I'm aware of.
I have not received any.
So let's leave this open for just a couple minutes, and then we'll go ahead and move forward.
Are you good with me doing it?
I am.
Okay, so I'll move that we close the public hearing portion of this item.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Public hearing is now closed. We'll go ahead and entertain a motion.
So I'll go ahead and I move that we forward a recommendation to the city council to adopt the proposed text amendment to update Title 17 zoning to address amendments required by HB 1003.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Kate, can we please get a roll call vote?
Yes, Commissioner Smallwood,
Yes.
Commissioner Castillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Snow,
Yes.
Vice Chair Anderson.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go ahead and make a favorable recommendation to the city council on that. Thank you. Our last item on our agenda is a staff update.
I will go ahead and give you a brief update. At our next meeting on the 26th, assuming the mask mandate for Salt Lake County stays in place, it will likely be virtual. There will be, I believe, 1 or 2 code text amendments. I believe 2 rezone requests for properties along 7200 South looking to go to a mixed use. And I believe that's the bulk of the agenda. We did reschedule the Planning Commission open house until some of this wave of COVID passes, and we'll keep you in the loop as to when and where or when that may be and how you want to address that. But we did put an article in the city newsletter, and then notification went out yesterday that that is going to be rescheduled. So we'll keep you informed on that.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, did you say that we'll have a virtual meeting next time?
If the mask mandate is still in place,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
And they're voting on that this evening, so
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
So we can't do like we've done
Tomorrow.
tonight then, right? Have part of it here and part of it.
Oh, yeah, we're good for tonight.
Adam? When you say
Um,
virtual, when you say virtual for next meeting, if the mask mandate is still in place, is that everyone's virtual next meeting?
I would imagine yes, but I can verify that and
Okay.
let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Because I think this has worked out good, I think.
Yeah, as long as we can get in the building. Okay, with that, would someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
This is Robin. I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at, wait for it, 6:39.
Okay. And I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 This meeting is now adjourned.
Congratulations. Esther.
Congratulations, Dustin and Robin.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.